The name of one of the levels is Big Apple 3 p.m. You can toss the foot soldiers toward the screen. April O'Neil can pull off a V-trigger. Raphael can do German suplexes. And so much more happening with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge available right now. How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here, and in big thanks to .emu, I've been playing this game for the last couple of days. And it has been a trip. Such a blast in the past, such a walk down memory lane. As soon as you start playing the very first level, and as soon as you experience that music, you know you're in for a great time with this game. And huge shout out to T. Lopez for the music. Wonderful soundtrack for this game. Also helped out with the music for Streets of Rage 4, Sonic Mania, and more. And you are right back into the swing of things as if there was no gap in gaming between the previous Ninja Turtle arcade-style games and this game. You pick it right back up, and easily done. Well, the first thing you need to do is pick which player you want to play as. And fortunately, like this game, unlike the others, every character has a different range or speed or power. You know, choose who's best for you. But I promise you, you're going to want to go through this game playing as everyone. Yeah, whatever fits you best. Now, I played through this game as Raphael the first time around. He's my favorite Ninja Turtle. And I have unlocked Casey Jones. Casey Jones, easily unlockable. Just beat the game once, then you'll have Casey Jones. It encourages you to go back through the game, but again, like I said, you're going to want to go back through this game playing as everyone so you can unlock all of their moves and unlock all of their health bar and all that. And unlocking those things is as easy as just playing the game. Just defeating enemies, you get extra points, and you can get bonus points later on. I'll talk about that here in a bit. There are new maneuvers in this game too, so it does have a like how to play. You're like, I've played this before, I don't need you to show me how to play. But there are some new moves that you can do in this game, so it might be worth looking at this up front just in case, because there's like some evasive moves, different kinds of jumps. You can power up your shot when you hit both buttons at the same time instead of doing your desperation move, which loses health in previous games. It does like an upper, and your desperation is a separate button completely. And each player has their own unique walking style, running style. Some of the moves are different as well, like those desperation moves. They all have their own desperation move for themselves. You fill up your meter just by defeating enemies, and then once it's filled, then you can do that kind of like special attack. If you don't have enough built up yet, all you have to do is taunt. Everyone has a taunt, and it'll fill up completely. So if you can pull off the taunt, you can pull off your move. Now, the bulk of the enemies in this game are going to be the Foot Clan. Now, in the cartoon, as well as this game, they're robots, which is fine. I mean, you can't be walking around with swords and stuff and chopping up humans. So, robots, that's going to be okay for this game. And there are different styles, and more of them like come later on, too, that are, you know, going to be harder, can block and stuff like that, too. I've always loved the environmental ones. It's like they're working, or they're hanging out backstage, or they're doing something. They're like, oh, hey, wait, we're in the middle of a fight. I better start fighting someone. Like the previous games, pizza will fill your health, but there are other pizzas available too. Like some of them give you kind of special attacks, you know, that are limited time. Now, they're not really random for the most part. They give those to you when the time is right. Like, hey, a bunch of enemies are gonna show up all at once, so we're gonna give you this. Take out all the enemies, you'll be fine. I just can't get over how beautiful these pixel graphics are. I love pixel art like this. I love the fact there's little things happening in the background, like these the Foot Clan just stole your tire. You got your party wagon on cinder blocks. Hey, wait a minute. This is New York. I didn't know this was in Yakima. This is in New York, huh? Maybe this takes place in your hometown, where you just find cars on cinder blocks. I don't know. Like the other game, you also have your environmental weapons too, so you can hit them and, you know, maybe do some extra damage for people across the screen. Unfortunately, sometimes there's also like environmental damage that you can get, like these little planks on the boardwalk, or, you know, there's live electricity wires laying around and everything. 16 levels in this game. Well, it's 15 levels, and then the 16th level is the final boss. I'm not going to spoil the final boss. The game is out now. I could do it right now. You can see it on other channels, but I'm going to save that as a surprise for you. But getting around in this game couldn't be easier. As soon as you unlock another level, it just opens up the road, and you can just drive around and, you know, go to whatever levels you want to go to. And you can replay the levels too. In fact, you might want to, because sometimes there are collectibles or there are challenges in each stage that you can go back through and hopefully unlock, you know, clear the stages and try to 100% this game by doing all those. And the challenges are easy enough. Sometimes it's like, you know, like throw 5 enemies, or don't get hit in this level, stuff like that. Takes place in New York, as you can clearly see. Also takes place in Dimension X, that's right. And like some of the previous games too, not just the side-scrolling beat-em-ups, you also have your kind of auto-scrolling as you go through the stage, you know, defeat the enemies who are in cars or also on these hoverboards and stuff like that. You know, a little variety of gameplay that just keeps you going. I kind of like the fact that they have this, and there's not a ton of them. It's not a ton of them, but every few stages there might be one of these, and it's kind of a nice change of pace. I think it's a nice change of pace to have something like this. And come on, seriously, how sweet does this game look using my official John Riggs Edition fixture? I wouldn't play it portably any other way. You can grab yours in the description below. I've loved the idea of having the silhouette of the Who's That Pokemon style. The boss in this level is going to be this guy, and if you know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you can probably figure out who these bosses are. And I loved the cartoon for the first few seasons. I didn't keep up with it much after that, but I did recognize most of the bosses. And the boss fights, well, I mean, they could provide more of a challenge. They all have a pattern that will be easy to recognize as soon as you start playing. They're still fun, and they're still fun to have and fun to see and everything like that. Again, the more you play this, the better you kind of get with, dodging and attacking and evading and all that too. You won't have any problem with any of the bosses, I wouldn't think, in this game. The bosses could provide more of a challenge, but still kind of fun to play and fun to go through. Other little elements that you may have missed from the previous games, and you get to see them again here. It's just fun to see.
You turned out the light.
I also love the fact they invited back the original voice actors from the '87 cartoon series. At least for the 4 Ninja Turtles. Cam Clark is Leonardo. I met him once. Great dude. He's also the voice of Rocksteady, so there you go. And again, just the pixel art, the pixel animation. Oh man, such a great game. Such a blast in the past here. In-game achievements. Well, there are several reasons to go back through the game naturally, like I mentioned before. And sometimes you won't only find pizzas and other items, but you'll find, other people's items that they're looking for. Like Irma here has is looking for her 5 diaries. So then every once in a while when you're playing the game, you might find like this random thing. And you're like, what's going on here? Well, it belongs to someone else that you're collecting them for. And there's a few of them on here too. So it's not just Irma and her diaries, but there's also, Vernon and his VHS tapes. The neutrinos are on here collecting crystal shards. Yeah, stuff like that. And not just always the Foot Clan either. There are other enemies later on in this game too. And some of them you may recognize and some of them you may remember too. So it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about those guys. That's right. Those guys used to exist, sure. Remember them. 6 players simultaneous, you can play it online. To go through this game from start to finish takes you about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I think it took me about 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, because I was kind of having fun. I was kind of taking my time going back through some levels and stuff. Think back to how many times you played the other games too. You're gonna end up playing this game over and over and over again, especially not just to unlock all of the upgrades for all the characters, but to play this game with friends, play it online. And if you've had your fun with the go around town and collect the items and all that, you can play this game in the arcade mode. And the arcade mode is what you get is what you get. If you leave the game, there's no saving it along the way. You have to play this game. You have to beat this game from start to finish. Now, I did beat this game without having to continue. I never lost enough lives, so I had to continue this game. I played through it a couple of days. I played it, half of it one night, and I played the other half the next day. Had a great time with it. Looking forward to playing this more. And it's the game we've all been waiting for. I'm playing this personally on the Nintendo Switch, also grabbing it for Game Pass, and hopefully you will do the same. So if you see me pop up playing online, invite me in, buddy. I'm coming in, man. Just save Raphael for me. He's my favorite. If you're planning on grabbing this game anyway, use my link in the description below. I don't receive any compensation for it, but it is a referral link that proves to them that they got this game courtesy of this video, which helps me out a lot so I can do more videos like this.